What's good, Detroit Sports Nation? I am Eric Vincent, your host here at the DSN News Desk. Thank you for being here. We appreciate your time and support with a much-needed update on the front of the Detroit Lions, who are getting some more hopeful news in terms of their rookie wide receiver we've all been waiting to check out. We're dying to see his debut at Ford Field, and it should be coming soon on the front of Jameson Williams. J-Mo got his first fully suited practice with the Lions today and looked every bit of electric as we expected. Looks like he's getting closer and closer to being able to make his debut, and we can finally see what he looks like blended with this offense. Next to Amon-Ra St. Brown, next to DJ Shark, moving in motion on, reverses or whatever they end up having him do. Maybe not so much anticipating deep balls from Jared Goff, because from what we've seen all season, that ain't his thing anymore. So we ain't even got to get into that. But in terms of what we see from Jameson Williams and what we're expecting, everybody's on pins and needles and super excited. But what I want to focus on today in this video is, while we're waiting for him, last time we talked about Jameson Williams, I spoke on the Lions needing to stick with what's been working for them. I don't want to see them going above and beyond to try to accelerate getting him involved. I don't want to see them over-prioritize deep balls just to soothe him and get him ingratiated with this offense. I want to see the Lions stick with what's been working. Run the football. Be methodical. Run plays that are not going to put you behind the eight ball, that can help you be and stay effective against your opposition. Put the ball in your receivers' hands, who are great with run-after-the-catch opportunities. And knowing Jameson Williams from what we've seen in Alabama, that's his specialty too. It ain't just deep balls. It's his ability to run after the catch. And I'd much rather see that than the necessity of them trying to throw deep and look sexy every other drive. I don't want to see that. And on top of that, while we're at this point of the season where the Lions are, in the hunt, but still kind of probably not going to get to the playoffs, even with that note, I don't want them sitting up here sacrificing wins just to get the development down. At this point, the development that you're going to see with this team has to come from winning, because we've seen the young players step up. We've seen Kirby Joseph flash potential. We've seen dominance from Aiden Hutchinson. We've seen Justin Houston step up. We've seen Pascal step up and be effective. Rodrigo being a pop-off name. We've seen the young players flash their potential. Penei Sewell looking like one of the best tackles in all of football. Now is where winning is becoming important. Even with J-Mo coming back in the lineup, I want to see the Lions focus on that. I don't want to see them in tank mode to try to make the draft easier for Brad Holmes. We don't need to be soothing his responsibility anymore. I don't care where the Lions are picking with their draft picks. I don't care if they're picking top 5, top 10, top 15, bottom 25. I don't care what it is. Wherever the Lions are picking, Brad Holmes needs to be a winner, no matter what. And you don't need to sit up here to make it easier for him just to try to make that happen, because seeing what the Lions are capable of, knowing the teams that are on their schedule moving forward, and knowing what the kind of development you want to see from this team at this point, you want to see wins. Because we've seen the play, we've seen the individual play, but to know that it's actually taking you somewhere in the future in a positive direction, wins has to be the bar. Wins have to be the bar at this point. It's not even a question. Looking at what the Lions are drafting this next season. In the offseason, they have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and they got a third. They also got a 5th and 2 6th towards the bottom of the draft. I don't care about trying to make life easier for Brad Holmes. And considering how bad the Rams are right now, you're not in a position where you have to do that anyway. You don't have to sit back and say, well, we want to make sure we can potentially get Jalen Carter or Will, whoever it is, or Bryce, whoever it is that you have at the top of your draft board. You should not be sacrificing wins to get that at this point. The Rams are doing that enough for you. Stafford is hurt. Cooper Kupp is out. Allen Robinson's hurt. Aaron Donald is now out in the scratch for this next upcoming game for the Rams. This team is cooked. And they're going to do all the draft fortune for you. So you don't need to worry about trying to set your future up. Let them do it for you. They're doing a well enough job already. Trust me, you don't need any other assistance at this point. The Lions need to focus on what's been plaguing them all season. If you look at a lot of their wins, outside of maybe the Patriots win, where they got just walloped by on the road by the Patriots, outside of that, they've shown that they could be in every game. I've said it back and forth. I feel like at this point, I feel comfortable in saying that as long as the Lions aren't beating themselves, they can compete with anybody. That doesn't mean they can beat anybody. They can compete with anybody. You saw that on Thanksgiving with the Bills. You've seen that with elite teams all season. You've seen that against playoff-bound teams. You see that against your division rivals who have haunted you all our lifetimes. So now, knowing what you've seen and knowing what this team is capable of, I don't think just being in position is good enough anymore. Again, I was very upset after the Bills game because I wanted to see them close out that game. But knowing that they gave, at least the players gave you about as good an effort that you could wish for. Coaching, to me, killed that game. But I'm not mad at the defense for being in position like Kirby Joseph was against the Bills to potentially knock a pass down and Josh Allen just makes a better play. That's showing you that this team is growing. They're not going to be perfect all the time, but they're at least in position to make plays. They're growing. They're competing against teams that we all thought they have no business competing against, and they're now getting comfortable with the idea of what a winning franchise is supposed to look like. You've had 3-game winning streaks. You've had moments where you've upset your division rivals. You went and beat the Giants. You stood toe-to-toe with the Bills. You've done this all season long. It has to come with wins at this point. So no matter what they do with Jameson Williams, no matter what they're doing in terms of his development, I don't want to see it sacrifice the winning. That has to matter. It's not going to be in terms of, it doesn't mean I want to see them get to the playoffs to validate it. No, I just want to see them put good football on the field consistently. That's what I want to see them do. And they've shown the ability to do that. But you have to do that and prove that it's worth it and validated with winning. Don't tank off right now. Don't tank at this point. Stick with the program. Stick with what's been working. Bring J-Mo in slowly. Again, run them on the same route that you do with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Get a lot of crossing routes between those two. They're going to be able to be dynamic next to each other. And I'm super excited to see that happen. But be very clear. Winning should be the focus at this point. It wasn't to start the season. It was get the young guys involved. Put them in positions to be successful. Put them in the best opportunities in areas to show what they're capable of. And we've seen that. We've seen the adjustments with Hutchinson. We've seen the adjustments in the secondary. We've seen the adjustments as the D line gets healthier. We've seen it with Rodrigo as he continues to branch out as a linebacker. We see it with the offensive line as they go through injury issues. We see it with the running backs as they go through injuries. Receivers too. We've seen it all around. I think the let's see what they've got phase of this point with the Lions is out the window. We know what we got. We know what we got with these players, and we know what they can be. Yes, you want to add on the best high-end talent as possible. And no matter who that is, be very clear. It's a deep draft from top to bottom. It doesn't branch off, especially defensively. So considering what the Rams are doing right now in terms of their terrible play and their injuries and their misfortune that's leading you to high fortune in the draft, you don't need to worry about tanking off for draft position. You don't need to do it. If the season ended right now, you have the number 3 pick thanks to the Rams. Stick with the program. Stick with what you've been doing. Keep playing hard, keep winning, and keep aiming for the ability to compete. Not just seeing what the young guys got. Go out there and compete. Don't sacrifice that for young player development at this point. Talk to me, though. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. What are your expectations for Jameson Williams when he gets back into the fold with the Detroit Lions? What do you expect this offense to look like? Tell me and talk to me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you are liking the video as well and subscribing to the channel to help us ramp up on our way to 6,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. And of course, tap in on our social media as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the above. Search and follow Detroit Sports Nation. And holla at your boy as well at I am Eric Vincent so I can stay locked in with you. And lock in with me, of course, because I'll be right back again soon enough with another update right here from the DSN News Desk. Peace.